I want to ask another question from kind of a millennial mindset. We talk about in this industry so much as loyalty programs, and consumers, customers being loyal to a certain brand. But then I always hear that millennials aren't loyal to anything. Is that true? Is that fair to say?
I think there are brands like Apple that has a lot of loyalty. I'm not one of them that has that loyalty. But when it comes to hotels, no, I have no loyalty. I have one brand that I prefer, but if I get a better rate somewhere else, I'm going to go stay at that other one.
So is it a rate thing that?
I think it's price
location.
Price point.
I think location and rate are the two top, and I don't know if that's just millennial or if that's across the board. But that will, I'm a member of all of them, all of the brands. Because a lot of times they'll give you a bottle of water when you check in or something if you're a loyalty member, or priority check-in, free Wi-Fi. So, I mean, it's benefiting me as an individual traveler to be a member of all of them because I get to stay where I want. But I think the brands over time have really lost that connection with the traveler. Like the millennial, they didn't do anything, I think, from the beginning to get that millennial traveler to be loyal to them, because free Wi-Fi could be one thing, but most of our hotels offer it to any guest. You could book on an OTA and still get free Wi-Fi, so how is that a benefit?
Is there one thing as a millennial that you would want that would make you loyal to a hotel brand in a second? What's the one thing out there? No service or amenity?
I don't think so. I think it really comes down to price and location, and you can't always have that optimal price, optimal location.
I think also, though, millennials as travelers are looking for experiences.
Right.
I want to go to the new cool hotel, or this hotel that was remodeled, or something different, and it's not necessarily a certain brand. I'm always going to stay at this. And being in the Chicago market here is a great example of that. I think there's a lot of cool, unique hotels that may not be as branded.
So independence, that you're cool. I mean, that's something you look forward to.
I don't think. Don't get me wrong. I will, if I'm traveling somewhere where I'm unfamiliar with or don't know a specific, I may be like, oh well, I'll stay at this brand because I know what I'm going to expect to get. But I think at the same time, where I don't think it's going to be, I'm a Hilton person and I will always stay at a Hilton.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. I say that about everyone.
Well, it's interesting you say that, and but I think it also goes to, Ryan brought the point, we talked about how many brands there are now. With Marriott's got 30, but beyond that, it's like every hotel companies, they continually launch new brands, thinking that there's a right brand for someone out there. I mean, and they've gotten so specific now. When you look at IHG launching a wellness brand with Even, and people just going after the wellness market now, but literally launching brands to kind of fit a certain kind of mentality. So I always ask at conferences, people, hotel developers for the most part, because they're the ones who are building these hotels. I mean, the hotel companies will tell you that there's not too many brands because consumers are staying there. But I always say that hotel companies build new brands because there's someone who's going to develop them, right, and pay them a fee to market it. So, I mean, the question is, do you guys, as I wouldn't say millennials, just as people within the industry and consumers yourselves, do you find that there's way too many hotel brands, or not enough, or just the right amount?
I would say there's way too many. I think it just creates customer confusion. How are we supposed to, let's say I have a bunch of different brands that I oversee, but let's say I'm trying to sell my Marriott hotels and I oversee 5 different sub-brands.
Right.
I mean, and now you're trying to get someone to be loyal to all of these kind of thing, when they could just go onto Expedia or an OTA and see all of their options at once. And then you've got Moxie and all of these other ones that people don't even know about. So how are they supposed to be loyal to an overhead brand if there are just so many options underneath?
I was going to say, I think the average person, if you walk down the street and asked, what are the hotel brands they would come up with, a couple of the core brands, and that's pretty much it. And I think a lot of people actually think some of the smaller, newer hotel brands they don't realize that they are, a Marriott or a Hilton or an IHG. They think that they're actually independent because they've only ever seen 1 or 2 of them. So I do think that that's a huge challenge for hotel companies, is distinguishing themselves, and how do you stand out in that sea. I think Ryan said it earlier, how do you stand out in a sea of brands? It's a huge issue.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that because the lack, well, let's not say lack of distinction, but the very little distinction has kind of contributed towards the sharing economy that we're experiencing right now. Many young people do see a lot of the hotel brands as more of the same, a room to stay in for the night, and when you're done, you leave.
Right.
But the sharing economy now kind of offers you a little bit more variability in what you could get in getting that new and newer experience. So, I mean, as far as hotel companies go, I don't really think we're going to see a reduction in number of brands there because in trying to adapt to the changes in the sharing economy, they're trying to create newer and newer brands to distinguish themselves, which kind of just compounds the situation.